Q&A session. Angela Dodson, sorry that my question was not clear. I have completed the DNA testing. I was wondering if there are books to be able to learn more. Yeah, I'm sure there are, but I don't know what they are. So, you know, this day and age, everybody Googles everything. And so I think that probably one of the best ways, well, of course, I've got a lot of videos on this, and you can look through my videos, and hopefully they would give you the instruction you need. But I think one of the best ways of learning about DNA is to go get the Barkia color, Frenchy coat color app. That one right there. Let me just go back a notch so we can see what it says. Coat, I don't know if you can read that. Coat color calculator. So it's an app. You can play around with that, and you can learn all kinds of things about mucking around with different DNA, and it shows you what color the dog is. It's a great application. So I would say that that is probably a really good place to start. All right. Someone's asked me something in Spanish. Can't answer it. Sorry.
That orange. Goodness, that's orange.
Puppy healthcare. Audio and video quality sucks. Yeah, that's one of my first ones from a long time ago. And you're right, it does suck. And I had actually somebody else comment about audio in the car not being up to par. So, I mean, I did review that, and I thought that actually most of the audio in the car wasn't too bad. Certainly it's much better without having the car. The problem is it takes a lot of time and effort to do all this. And we're lazy people. And so what we try to do is, well, I don't know if we're lazy, but we try to double time things. We're driving, we're doing a video at the same time.
Two things at once.
And then we've got us both together, and I think that's useful because you get slightly two different views about what's going on, but you have to suffer through audio that's not exactly beautiful, so I apologize for that. Birmingham Bully Club. Hi guys, thank you so much for the videos. My favorite thing to do is watch your videos. Well, thank you. Had a happy litter of puppies almost 6 months ago. Well, good, congratulations to you. Oh, we've got a question there. Question, do you give folic acid from the start of season or after mating? Well, so typically you give I mean, I think the moment you see your dog's in heat and you're going to breed the dog, start giving folic acid. I mean, you can't do any better than that. You continue giving folic acid until such time as puppies have been born. If you're late on it and you do it after you've done the first AI, that's fine. Or if you do it when you start seeing this video, that's fine too. But the sooner, you know, the whole idea about folic acid is there's some thing in folic acid, and we give it to humans for the same reason, that can help with problems with pregnancy in terms of malformations of fetus. So that might be things like cleft palates, and it might be other things, but generally it's a building block that needs to be there, and so to give it is a good idea. And by the way, for a Frenchie you give, or for a dog you give 5 milligrams per day, which is quite a bit. Not micrograms. Don't be giving 800 micrograms. That's only 1/6 of what you should be giving. You want to give 5 milligrams. So yes. Can I breed a pied and brindle carrier to another pied and brindle carrier?
You bet you can.
You bet you can.
If it's not an extreme pied.
Yeah, good point there. So you see, this is why this is good to have two people here. So they're exactly right. What's the next problem? Why not, and what is it? What are you talking about?
Extreme pied is where a pied has very few spots, mainly white.
Snow white.
That is an extreme pied.
Yep.
And if you breed an extreme pied to another pied, then you're liable to have a solid white puppy that will be deaf.
Yes.
So you need to be careful.
Yes.
Make sure that it's got
so typically
spots.
a dog that's, by the way, a dog that's just white could be a cream dog, but a really white, snow white dog almost certainly is an extreme pied, has a little bit of white on somewhere, and he probably doesn't have any on its head, and specifically its ears. And there's something to do with the process that goes on it's to do with both pigment and hearing, that if you've got an extreme pied dog, it may be deaf or partially deaf. And we've produced one like that, so we know about this.
Yeah.
And the dog grew up to be fine, but it learned sign language.
Well, we didn't know it was deaf.
No, we didn't know it was deaf.
It
Right.
was in the
Yeah, we didn't know it, but we learned about it. Yeah.
Running and playing with them, and
Yeah.
we just,
Right. We'd have known it. Yeah. So the answer on your question here is, if you put a pied carrier to a pied carrier, 1/4 of the dogs you'd expect to be pied. If you breed a brindle to a brindle, 3/4 of the dogs will be brindles. So you'd expect to get brindle pieds mostly, fawn pieds maybe, brindles mostly, and fawns maybe.
Yeah. So that was probably what, about 5-7 years ago that we had that little deaf puppy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a whole new thing for us. We didn't have a clue.
Right, so that was funny, wasn't it? Because we'd actually met the couple
when
who picked the dog
everybody else
up.
got up, he got up. And
Yeah, so they picked the dog up, and then the next day they called us up and said, the dog's deaf.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
Yeah.
They said, this dog's stone deaf. And I said, well, okay,
No,
bring
it's
it.
because it was by itself and it didn't have other
Yeah.
puppies waking him up.
So we got the dog back. We took the dog back. You know, we don't want to give somebody a dog they want.
No, they end up knowing sign language.
No, we gave it to somebody else.
Oh, okay, and
Yeah.
they knew sign language.
So they brought the dog back. They brought the dog back to us, right? The dog apparently
Yeah.
just seemed to be fine,
Yeah.
right? The next morning, the dog's there asleep. All the other puppies are gone at this point. The dog's there asleep, and I go, well, I think the dog's dead, and it's not moving.
That's what she thought too.
Yeah, the dog's not moving, and hair is, it'll look or anything else. I went and got a couple of kitchen saucepan lids, bashed them together. The dog didn't move. It
Yeah.
didn't even
But
flinch.
where he went was to a woman that did sign language.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
worked out real well.
Yeah. The dog had a happy. The dog's still alive, having a good time.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah. Learns no sign language, but it takes a special person
Yes.
to provide a place for that dog. And this girl did it, so it was good. Bob Brock, I assume that it's not advisable to remove any adult dog dew claws. I ask because my dog always tries to chew on his. So
Chew on what?
his dew claws. He's an older dog.
Oh, okay.
He's an older dog. So yeah, we're going to have experience with this because all right. So the first thing is, if you remove the dew claws with a puppy that's something between 3 and 5-6 days old, it's easy, it's painless, it's quick, it's cheap. Do it, or do it if you want to. Some people don't want to do it, but do it if you want to. Once the dog is a few weeks old or a year old, absolutely that's not going to work.
That's got to be surgery.
It's going to be surgery, and it's not nice for the dog. We have had that done, and it was fine, but the answer is you've got to have a darn good reason to do it. I mean, one reason is the dog keeps getting his dew claws hung up on stuff, and it might rip a dew claw. You know, that'd be a reason to have it done. But certainly, it's not a nice operation for a dog that is now, a year
Because
old.
it's a bone that they
Yep.
remove.
Jackie Harvey says, can you please do a segment that addresses licensing, dealing with local agencies, and what types of facilities or home you would have to recommend for a growing operation? Sure, I'll do one. Someone's asking about our heated whelping system. Brandon Garza says, what do you use to have the heat travel to the bottom of the tray? Well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking here, but the way our heat system works is when you buy it, it comes pre-configured for the size of crate that you've got, and it's a sticky backed metal tape with an embedded heater in it. And you basically stick that, you peel off the backing, a couple of minutes later you've got it stuck to the bottom of the tray, you plug it in and it works and the heat comes through the tray. So I hope that answers your question. And here's the last one of this session. Hi, Caroline B says, my girl is coming to heat soon. She's AYAT, so she carries copy 10 points. She's Big B, doesn't carry testable chocolate. She's Little D, she's blue. She's Big EM, she's got a full mask. What would you suggest I look for in a stud? She's KY, by the way, so that means that she doesn't carry brindle. And you said little N. I'm guessing that you mean by that she doesn't carry cocoa. So basically, she's a blue masked dog. She could be a blue fawn. What would you breed to? And she carries copy 10 points, so she's probably a sable. Well, I'd breed to a dog that we have, for instance, would be a great choice. Is a guy called Winston. Winston is a blue sable. He's AYAT like your girl. Doesn't carry brindle. Does carry a copy of pie, but your girl doesn't. So I would breed another blue dog, doesn't have brindle basically, and one with tan points, and try to get blue and tans out of it. So, alright, okay. And that's it for this video. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.